This is Mark Smith, President and CEO of Advanced Business Innovations, and welcome to a special edition of Tech Tuesday. Being that this month is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I wanted to focus in on some of the key things for cybersecurity and how to protect yourself. So the first thing to know is that cybersecurity is a shared responsibility between both the companies like ourselves, Advanced Business Innovations, that takes care of you on the cybersecurity side with our tools, and yourself to make sure that you're doing best practices. Am I using passwords correctly? Am I using multi-factor authentication? Those things combined with the tools on your system give you a good sense of cybersecurity. So today we're going to focus on one of those items, which is passwords, because passwords are the easiest way for someone to get through your door. Think of a password as the key to your front door. The username of your password would be similar to the address of your house. It gives you direction or the user direction on where to go. The password would be the shape of the key. If you have the right password, you have entry into the house. But if you have the wrong password or somebody gets a hold of the password, then you have somebody unauthorized getting into your system. That's why creating the right password is so important. So I wanted to read to you what the National Institute of Standards, or NIST, has come up with as the key parts of a password, because it's changed over the years. It used to be the complexity, how often you changed it, were all very important. But in 2025, that has changed. So let me read this to you. The length over complexity. So the length of the password is key. It needs to be at least 8 characters and a maximum of 15. But those characters don't have to be complex numbers and letters. Instead, think of them as phrases. For example, coffee is better than meetings. That's a phrase. I can use capital letters and lowercase letters. It's not very complex, and that's something that's easy to remember for you. That is a better password than something shorter that has letters, numbers, that is easy to forget. The second thing that's important to remember is that you shouldn't use common patterns. So if you're going to use a phrase, make sure the phrase doesn't repeat itself. It's a sentence, something that you remember about your personal life that maybe nobody else would know. Third, don't reuse passwords. Try to use unique passwords for each piece of security that you want kept secure. For example, maybe I've got banking passwords, maybe I have medical passwords, but they're all separate so that if one of those passwords is hacked, it doesn't open the door to a hacker for everything else that I have. And lastly, you don't have to change passwords as often as you used to. In fact, they say that unless a password is compromised, there's no real reason to change it. So maybe you change it once every 2 to 3 years. But again, if there's no sense of urgency, there's nothing that's happened, no reason to make the change. So again, let's focus on passwords. Let's focus on making them right. At Advanced Business Innovations, we deploy password management tools. There are wonderful tools out there that help you understand and save your passwords so that you don't have to remember them all up here, because that's not very easy to do, especially as we get a little bit older. So you always want to use password managers. We use 1Password as our product. We've reviewed and tested many of them, and we found it to be the easiest and friendliest to use. So again, let's focus on password management. This is Mark Smith, President and CEO of Advanced Business Innovations, signing off on Tech Tuesday. Remember to keep your passwords secure. If you happen to be in the Los Angeles area and you need help with your security or your technology, please reach out to us. Our information is below: email address, phone number, lots of ways to reach us through social media. So please reach out. And until then, we'll talk again next week on the next Cybersecurity Awareness Month topic. Have a great day.